So
Awesome.
the idea now is that our character actually sets off by boat, and he makes his way along here through the waters, and then over on the horizon here we come up to
Ooh.
the next build, which is the farming homestead. One of the reasons that the Lord of the Lake has sent our character out into the world is that their food supplies are running low. As you can see, the wheat has matured for the most part, and the reason is that the occupants of the homestead have been slaughtered by the undead, and
Oh
have
no.
left this farmhouse basically unoccupied and the fields unattended. So this is still something I'm working on. I've got and plans for sort of an orchard outside, but the whole idea of this is you've sort of got a little bit of a spike there. There we go. You got some animals downstairs in these sort of makeshift pens,
Uh-huh.
and very sort of downtrodden type of flooring. This is when the using lots of use of the path blocks and things like that.
Love
And then
the
obviously,
addition of the brown concrete powder as well. That
oh, I
it's a
love
nice
that.
like
That's a
muddy, look.
exactly. Exactly. And I like the fact that when you add a block into the path block, it also changes the coloration of the
Oh
path
yeah,
block itself too.
around that. Yeah,
You get
absolutely.
that darkish texture, so it just adds even more stuff.
Hmm.
So this doesn't have an interior at the moment, but the whole idea is that this would be the living quarters on the second level here. So I've got plans for some rooms and things like that to be decorated. So good size sort of space. I see a family living here. Sort of goes into the this here
Silo.
is the silo that has the windmill in it as well.
Uh-huh.
And then if we go up to the next level, this is where there's some stores in these areas. So whole idea is that the wheat could be stored here and then winched out, and yeah, that's the idea. So again, this was me starting to play around with some new materials. This is when the stripped logs
Oh,
started getting
nice.
introduced. So I added in a whole heap of the stripped jungle wood along with the jungle wood exteriors, and also the acacia. So again, trying to move away from some of those blocks that I've used a lot of in the past. So
And it works extremely well. Like, I mean, this looks absolutely gorgeous.
I
Love it.
really liked this build, and I liked when that, and I know you have it a lot. I was watching your videos, but that moment when you're building and it just something clicks. It just all fits together. I remember still really clearly on stream. I was trying to figure out what to do with the roof just to give it that little bit of additional detail, and I
Hmm.
had this idea of I came up with these sort of like bracings that reach this sort of point. And just when I did that, I went, oh, perfect. That's it.
That's it.
That's exactly. It just made the build, and this went from a build of going, oh, I'm not sure. That's a lot of jungle wood. To yep, no, that's great.
Nope,
I love it. So,
that's exactly what we're looking for. Yeah, I
yep,
know that feeling all too well, and I love it every single time it
yeah.
hits me because it's like a new it's a new feeling every single time. It's great.
It is. It is because it's always so nuanced. So a lot of this was still built in 1.12.2. This area around here, I did have a little bit of building happening in 1.13 as well. And basically, the whole idea is the reason that I've structured the world the way I have is that I have tried to. I've tried to have builds so that I can substantively complete them in pretty much one go. If not one stream, then like 2 or 3 streams, but in a really, fairly short succession. But with enough for that, I can come back at a later date and, for example, plant some more wheat or,
Absolutely.
do some interiors and not have it be too much all in one hit. So it's just this whole world is designed to be burnout proof. That's really what it comes down to. This is what it's all about is to try and prevent me from burning out in the world. So yeah,
See, and
anyway,
I've gone about
that
it a little bit differently, but I've tried to make mine burnout proof as well. So, like, I mean,
yes.
it's a yeah, it's a great idea to have those little projects where, like, this. Yeah, this definitely right here. This would be a one go episode for me. This building,
Yes.
just building it up,
Yep.
and then coming back and doing like the wheat field for an episode or whatnot, or coming back and even just like trying to spend some time doing some project that I'm not going to show on video or on stream or anything, that I just kind of want to play and do something mindless, and coming back here and like planting the fields would be a big project for me that I would love to do for that. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect. It's great.
and the way I've sort of structured this, because this world started as a YouTube world,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm obviously now streaming almost exclusively on Mixer, but I still cut all my, because I've got that legacy of that playlist of that videos from when I started. I still cut all my streams up into sort of, it can be up to a 4 hour stream, and I cut it down into sort of 30 to 40 minutes. Really, really enjoy that. And then I have effectively two parallel series. One is my main Mad Dog's Monuments series, and then I have what effectively is a Monuments behind the scenes. And so if I'm doing some grindy work one stream and I'm not really doing any building work, or I might be building a farm or something like that, that sort of creates content for my behind the scenes. And so I've got 21 episodes of behind the scenes and 39 episodes of my main Monuments series. And
So you're
so
you're up
that's
to
sort of how I've
60
structured it.
episodes right there. Like, I mean,
I am. I am. I know. I don't know how I did that with all the other stuff that I'm doing, but anyway,
pretty
let's move
exciting.
on before. Well, anyway, in terms of the character,
Yes.
comes over here, does manage to get some food supplies loaded back up into the ship, but under attack from some undead skeletons. I also have had some pillager raids come through here. My very first pillager raids
Oh
in the
gosh.
world came through here, so I've sort of built that into the story as well. So he manages to get some supplies loaded onto the ship back to Lake Town, but he's actually taken prisoner by the pillagers who go
Oh
to take him
gosh.
back to his outpost. But fortunately, here once again is saved, because this guy, this son of a gun, he's the luckiest son of a gun in the world. Um,
It
he is
seems to
actually
be.
he's actually saved by a patrol of the coastal city that is just over the top of this hill, past the Great Pyre Lighthouse that we have here on the corner, which is a relatively
Oh
recent
wow.
build. This is my coastal city, or my coastal village. Um,
Oh, you got a trader in
and
here too. How about that?
yes, yeah, go figure.
Oh
Again,
wow.
my first experience with the trader was me building sort of like here, and I was like on the sides here, and I was building into these, setting up these little facades, and then he literally dropped on me, and there was just a flash of color on my screen, and I freaked the
Oh
hell
yeah,
out.
absolutely.
Oh, fortunately, I was just grinding between streams. It wasn't on stream, so I didn't accidentally have to flick it over to 18 plus stream there for a second. But anyway, the whole idea of this is really was just an idea that I had when 1.14 blocks started coming around. So you can see here, there's lots of like raw andesite, walls, and some polished andesite slabs and stairs. You see a lot of the fires, just adding a little bit of the smoke. The campfires, which adding some smoke into different places, which is really cool. But yeah, that's sort of the idea of it. You got this ship over here, which is actually a ship of the undead, and I'll show you how. Just stay there for a second. I'm going to go and see if I can activate this for a second. If you go actually under the water, you might actually see that there's a tube going into the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm going to do this F3N trick for a second. Go into, yep, I think there's some coming down. Yeah, they're coming down. Awesome. So there is a spawner basically right below the surface here.
Oh really?
Let's go back into of the water here. It was actually collapsed in, so this whole area was just I could just see the spawner. And so what I've got
Oh.
underneath there is the
Oh.
spawner activates, and it dispenses a helmet onto the skeletons. And the whole idea is that if I can spend a bit of time down there, then effectively makes this a ship of the undead by putting a skeleton crew, and any ones that don't have a helmet, like they won't pick it up, then they die.
They
But all the ones that do, if it's nighttime, then you get that effect of having this skeleton crew on the ship. And yeah,
Oh,
really, really
that's
cool. I really
oh
like it.
yeah.
It's
Very cool. Oh, okay. I guess I punched him. So
nice. The,
but
the the strength of
yeah.
the king. There you go.
Yeah, there he
So
is.
yeah, anyways, that was just a little sort of dynamic thing that I want to add, sort of that sort of immersive element into the world. So anyway, the whole idea of these are all facades. There's no actual rooms in behind these at the moment. They're just really it's very much an immersive walkthrough type of experience, walking through along the docks here, seeing the little houses, having them sort of climb up over the top of one another, seeing creating this waterfall, which was actually from a lake at the top here as well. So
Oh
this
wow.
was all created this water, created this lake, and having it sort of flow down as a stream, adding in the towers, playing around with the smoke effects from the campfires. And yeah, again, this is something I can come back to at a later date and just keep building some ships and some boats and just add more and more to the world.
I love it. I'm just grabbing some screenshots here. As yeah, this is oh man, this is such a cool area. I love this coastal town though. This is such a great idea, and you've built it right directly into the side of the cliffs here, which is just absolutely perfect and exactly how I would imagine. You know, the people living in this area would do it.
Yeah, exactly. And again, apart from which shall not be named. That's there's a bit of a theme in this tour, isn't there? But the whole idea of that is that it's really about just saying, okay, well, the main structure is the wall of the cliffs themselves. That's the main thing that they rely upon as part of this world, and everything else is sort of like added to it, bolted onto it. Maybe a little bit of repairs here and there with some cracked stone brick and things like that. But yeah, that's the idea. So that's my coastal city.
Love it.
And yeah, this is where our I guess traveler, our character finds himself, and once again is saved by their good graces, but is set upon another journey to hopefully find maybe the cause of this pestilence, and that is where we're gonna head now
Ooh.
because he's found something. He's found something after a long journey across the lands, pretty much straight across here. Now, this is sort of the furthest jump that I've had between builds, and this actually next build precedes the previous builds in terms of design, like in terms of like when it was built.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go across up to the top of this hill over here, sort of pan up onto the
Oh
hill,
wow. Oh wow.
we have ourselves an old school steampunk style mining automaton
Oh man.
that is blasting a laser through the top of the mountain. Uh, and this is really just an excuse for me to have a build that covers the my beacon beam, because that is a beacon beam, obviously, and I've got a mining sort of area down here. But this entire hill was actually not a hill at all. This has actually predominantly been built up from nothing, and you can sort of see
Oh
some of the
yeah.
shaping. I've still got to improve it. If you
I
go
could tell.
inside, I was
Yeah,
about
I
to say,
could tell now.
if you go inside, there's there's a little bit of a chasm in here. You can sort of see the spaces that have been where it's been built up. This entire side over here, particularly, is just all constructed from nothing. And I was actually sick at the time, and I just sat down. I did the whole wall in one hit because I just yeah. Anyway, so the whole idea is that this leads down to a mine to a beacon mine, and again, this is sort of covering that sort of beacon mine effect. But uh, they this mining automaton, which is mining and blasting away at this mountain entirely without supervision, long after the civilization that constructed it and set upon its work has died off, has released something from the earth, and that is sort of where the source of the pestilence and plague. And so the whole idea of this is that I don't actually light up around here. So at nighttime it just fills with mobs, and so that sort of fits
Oh
in with
wow.
then the lore
Oh
of
yeah.
that this thing has hit something, and it's caused either a pestilence or a plague to set upon the world. So yeah, I really like it. In part, I like it because I get to look at it while I'm over here at my witch farm, which is not really part of a build, but I just needed gunpowder. Um,
Absolutely.
so it's sort of my rocket factory over here, so I got my witch farm, and then I've also got my and it literally just went off my sugarcane farm as well. So not 100% lossless, but just does
Enough.
the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I have AFK up here in the sky, and hopefully load as minimal area as possible. You can see the area that I've torched up. That's pretty much all that's loaded up. But because I raise the witches up in the air before dropping them, I don't have to worry about like loading up the caves below the area, because they never actually get I think they drop 2 blocks or 2.5 blocks below ground level,
Mm-hmm.
and then they water stream up into the air and drop
That's
down, and they die, and they give me their precious items.
that's a
And
great idea for that. Makes it a lot easier on you.
yes, absolutely. And so
Awesome.
apart from the K, the the castle build that I'm working on at the moment, and so you saw at the beginning, which is very early on. That's pretty much where I'm at in this world. I'm the character is going to be heading back to the castle because the castle's going to have a massive library, and he's going to be doing some exploration and trying to find out how he can counter this plague that has been set upon the world. And that's the idea. And really, I'm just going to be sticking to this area, adding more and more builds in, adding different sort of things to it as well, and yeah, having a bit of fun.
Oh wow.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. No, this is oh man. This world is awesome. I mean, it's you've got little things here and there, but oh wow, that was a rubber band.
that was a sign.
Goodness. I
I
was
saw
I
you
was
fall
on
out. I was
top.
excited.
Yeah, I was on top of the automaton, and then all of a sudden I was over here by his leg. Uh, but no, yeah, this is such a cool world, and I love the way that you have built the lore in with the builds and kind of forced the story to progress that way. So it's
Well,
definitely a cool idea.
yeah, and it just reinforces the whole point of this world as my sort of perpetual world, my
Mm-hmm.
my ethos world, my building with BWO, my
Kingdoms,
brownie lands,
Brownie
my
Land, yeah,
kingdoms.
exactly.
Yes, that's it's that you need to maintain. Did you like that I included you in that list? I
I
thought you'd be
did.
happy with
Yes, I feel very included after beat
you
ups.
should, mate. You
Goodness
should.
gracious.
But yes, so I guess the whole idea again, making this as burnout proof as possible. And look, it's not that it stops you from burning out because I've got 3 creative series, 3 survival, but with creative elements
Mm-hmm.
being Minecraft worlds that I'm sort of progressing and have been progressing now, um, you know, in parallel and simultaneously with one another for a long time. It doesn't stop the burnout, but it does make you come back. And that's the thing that I find is that I just keep coming back to this world as much as you know, don't want to. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to. I want to know what happens next in the story. I'm writing the story. I want to know what
you're
happens next.
you're learning as much as we are with the story, so which is
Absolutely.
gorgeous. Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen next to the character, and I sort of. I either sometimes the lore will inspire a build, or a build will inspire the lore, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I guess the only
Absolutely.
other thing to show you in this world, which is far less creative and far less, far more boring, is just that when I did set up this world, I did set myself up effectively like a centralized resource sort of processing area, I
Oh
guess you would
yeah.
call it. So I sort of set up this sort of concept, what I call my redstone fields, and
I
it's really
felt
just a.
I felt
Oh,
I'm feeling the loading.
yes, yes, me too. So the whole idea, and it's this cave down here, this cave, I'm gonna do something
Oh
with this cave.
wow. Yeah,
Oh my god.
you have to.
Oh, I've got to do something with it. It leads nowhere. Like it literally is just a cave that it's just a cave opening, but it has look on this on the other side.
Oh my gosh. Is that spider? Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
You've got to do something. This
I
is
know.
have you ever played Destiny or heard of anything about
I have,
Destiny?
yes.
This kind of gives me the whole like oh what's the name of it? The Hellmouth.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, it kind of gives me that
Yes.
Hellmouth feel. Now
I
obviously it's not
know.
exactly that, but like I mean yeah, it just a big giant opening into the depths of hell.
Well,
Or
the idea that I had with this is because of the spiders was like if you're thinking like Shelob from Lord of the Rings, sort of the Spider Queen's lair. That's sort of my
okay.
idea at the moment of what to use this for because I've got the spider again. I can like some of these times I'm like I did with the skeleton spawner at these coastal villages. I won't use them for their resources. I'll use them as a creative element, and so I'll like get the spiders. I'll probably drop them down into some water and then flush them in through different parts of the build. So you have this constant feeling, or that there's spiders everywhere, and maybe build a sort of get lots of webs and yeah. Anyway, that's the sort of idea, and
I
it would
love
be
it.
very well positioned
Oh,
for our
perfect.
character.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it looks
absolutely.
pretty awesome.
Oh,
And so, yeah,
perfect.
if you just head over this dark oak forest, mind the fire there that started before I turned fire tick off in the world.
Oh,
Love
so
this.
it's just burning
It's burning in,
perpetually.
and I thought it was, oh, I'll just trim this chunk. No, I'm leaving it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
leaving it.
you've got
I
to.
gotta leave it there. So
Yeah.
and so yeah, and so this is my redstone slash farming area. This is where
Everything
that's
happens. You
where
cut
I
out there. Yeah.
oh, can you hear me here? Yep.
Yes. Yes.
So this is my what I call redstone fields. It's farming and production world. So this is where I had all my villages, my trading hall before 1.14. We shall not talk about that. Um, and my beautiful, beautiful villages. Unfortunately, I don't have any villages that'll trade indefinitely, which is so annoying. They're all locked. They all lock up on their trades, which is
Mm-hmm.
so annoying. Anyway, but yeah. So I had my trading hall here. Got a kelp farm which automatically feeds into a some what's it called some furnaces over here with little automatic furnace. This is I'm going to change up and put this in as a probably a not a kelp farm, a bamboo farm, just because they grow quicker and you can, or even one tick pulse them,
Yeah,
and use
absolutely.
that as the fuel source. Yeah, cactus farm. I got myself a little bit of a sort of a bulk storage item storage system over here, which is just classic impulse SV
Yeah.
designs. Lots and lots of manual farms, and I got a little bit of an things like a cobblestone generator and automatic fishing farm, a little nano farm. I got my own design for
Oh
an
my gosh.
AFK um, concrete maker,
Oh, nice.
which I really like. This design here, which I use, fully AFK, will restock you picks. You just dump all the stuff in here, place it with your offhand, and yeah, it works really well. So if I've got like 2 or 3 double chests worth of concrete powder I want to change over, then I can just use this machine, set it up overnight, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, there. I
Um,
mean, yeah, that would do it. I so I know this is just for like clearing out and like getting wood,
yeah,
but this is such a cool design.
I
Like
know,
the
isn't it?
acacias. Oh my gosh.
I
Like
know,
I can almost see like a jungle house being
I
built
know.
in
Me
this.
too.
Like
Absolutely. I was just thinking,
you
like,
could tell
I
you could
probably
tell
need.
we're builders because we're like,
Yeah,
ooh,
I know.
ooh, look at this. This could be something.
That's hilarious because the thing I thought to myself, okay, well, first of all, this need to be 3 wide, not just 2 wide, to allow for a
Absolutely.
greater
Oh yeah,
opening. But then would
absolutely.
that create? And then there's the windows, and like you could add in some. Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh
We're
my
terrible.
gosh.
Um,
Oh gosh, I love it.
yeah. And so this is I didn't realize at the time, but because of the bed here, I got stuck in a raid loop here, in this area.
Oh.
And so you can see the berry bushes are
Mm-hmm.
some partial protection from that. But yeah, that was not fun. That was not
No.
fun at all. And that basically is a loop because if we fly out here into the water, this will take us back to the other side of our spawn island,
Okay.
and uh, that's pretty much it. I think if I
Oh
travel,
geez.
I'm trying to remember which way it is now. I think it's over the top here. Loading it, loading chunks. I keep forgetting that this isn't my. This is on a server. This is a backup. These chunks haven't been
Yes.
loaded in a very long time in terms of this. But anyway,
Yeah, and
um,
server performance in 1.14 is absolutely horrendous.
yeah, it's
So,
not great. I don't know what it is. I just can't help but like go past little caves and
and
stop
you're
and go,
like, oh
ooh,
yeah, 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 yeah,
oh yeah, I'll build something here, and oh, I'll build something there, and oh, what about over here? I'm just horrible at that. I've got like the attention span of a gnat when it comes to stuff like that. So
that's why I tend not to like explore too much because I'm like, well, that's gonna be season two. That's gonna be
yes,
season
yes,
two.
clever.
I have this area specifically mapped out, for what I want to do. But yeah, it's like it's hard, especially with the new updates when they add so much amazing things that you have to go explore
Yeah,
for.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, oh man, I
Well,
love
one of
this
the other
world
things
though.
that
This is gorgeous.
yeah, I've really loved this world too, and I was really fortunate. Like this seed, one of the things I couldn't believe when I see this is I didn't really scout for this seed. I put a random seed in. Have you seen the ocean monument that
I noticed
exists?
it. I was like, "What is that? Like lava under there, or is that like what's going on
Nope.
over here?" And
We
then
have an
I zoomed
actual
in.
ocean monument.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is awesome.
Unbelievable. Could not believe it. Like, 10, not even 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes into my worlds, my very first single player world, and there's an ocean right there, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, should I go and take care of that now? No,
No,
don't do it.
absolutely not.
Mad
Wait.
dog, what are you doing? Don't do it. I actually ended up doing it. I ended up taking care of it. On stream, I did the Ender Dragon fight and then did this in the one stream.
Oh wow.
Because I survived the Ender Dragon fight when I wasn't actually planning on doing it, and so I didn't have all the materials on me. I thought, what the hell? I'll go do it. There'll be some laughs. I survived and thought to myself, you know what? I didn't kill myself that time. Let's give it another go.
Let's try
And
again. And what better than giving you mining fatigue while these random fish are shooting at you that if you hit and punch, you'll get thorns damage dealt to you.
and shoot
Why
lasers
not?
at you.
And shoot lasers
This
at you.
this is, in my opinion, this is Minecraft. This is Mojang at its best.
Oh, absolutely.
Weird cubic fish that have thorns and shoot lasers, while their larger cousins give you mining fatigue, and then as a result of that, you can get the greenish block, which has some, but obviously less, somewhat limited application. Really, all of this whole thing, this whole weird, strange contraption of a thing, is so they could introduce another lighting source apart from glowstone. Like, I love that that's where the head was at. You know what? Oh, we really need to put in another lighting source. You know what we should do? And I just wanted to be in that pitch meeting. I just wanted to be in that pitch meeting. Oh, we need another lighting source. Oh, so, I don't know who it was, but somebody said, now listen, this is my idea. And then like 30, 40 minutes later,
everybody was like, yes, let's do this.
I guess
Let's
we're
go.
doing that then.
Let's go finish this now. I love it. Oh man. Yeah, I love it. It's so cool. Yeah, that's great. That's great that it's so close to Spawn Island too.
I know. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so that's it, mate. That is
Awesome.
the world.
Awesome.
That
Well,
is
since
everything.
you haven't been on my channel in a very, very long time,
I have not.
and
I still
have
think about when we last played, actually, that the work that we did in the Snow Village, the Nordic village
yes.
lab. I think about that all the time. I had so much fun doing that. It just pops into my head all the time. Or when I see see anything brownie related pop up in my life, edible and or non-edible, you can determine which category you fit into there.
Well, yeah.
I automatically it pops into my head and I go, oh, that was so much fun. So, oh mate, absolutely a pleasure to have you here and in the world.
It's been a blast. And since we haven't done anything, where can people on my end find you?
Okay, so my and I'm assuming links in the descriptions below.
Yes, correct.
So in terms of this series obviously is on YouTube, and you can find that at youtube.com/MADDOG142. So that's MADDOG142, all one word. The other thing that you
the writing above his head right there.
Yes, exactly. It just follow that, type that into any social media platform, and you're probably going to find me. But I spend most of my time now on Mixer. I stream. I try to stream 4 to 5 nights a week, mostly 4 because I have a family and I'm I try to be a glutton for punishment, but I'm only so successful. And so I stream 4 nights a week, a combination of this world, some other Minecraft worlds that I also play on, including my Patreon server. And then I also play other games like Stellaris and City Skylines and things like that as well, which I love. So, because I don't have enough on my plate, and 2, 3 Minecraft worlds is not enough. So let's add a whole heap of city builders and grand strategy games into that as well.
Right. I love it. I love it. But that's why we call you the machine.
That's why it pops up there on my stream. That's why it's because of you. It's because of that. Anyway, mixer.com. It's mixer.com/MADDOG142. Check me out there. Hit that follow button, and we've got notifications Also,
Absolutely.
you can follow me on Twitter there as well. And yeah, that's me, mate.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing me this world. I loved it. I love it, and it was giving me some really like major nostalgia going through it. So
Awesome.
I love it.
That's great.
It's like, oh yeah, I remember when he did this on camera, and I remember this. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Oh yeah, it was great. It was a fun
Oh, that's
blast. You have a
awesome.
wonderful world, and I can't wait to see what you do in it.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. And
Oh, you cut out
now
there.
now King Brownie.
Yes.
Have
I'm still wearing my crown. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yes, you are. You are officially King Brownie here.
Yes.
Let me get your
Okay.
eyesight.
Yes. Yeah,
Super awkward. Okay, no,
I,
let's not do that. That's
yes.
super awkward. I'm now going to run back over to my build and keep building for you, sir, so I can get your castle built as soon as possible. Okay, sounds good.
All right, and I shall knight you in the meantime. Um,
Oh,
I shall knight
oh,
you, Knight Mad Dog 142.
oh, thank you,
There you
thank
go.
you.
You are officially a
Excellent,
knight of the brownie bakery.
excellent. Thank you very much. The most delicious of kingdoms. It
Yes.
is a pleasure and a privilege to be part of it. And on that note, I'm going to run over here and go and start placing more blocks down. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
bye.
Bye.
See you, mate. Have a good one.